is Rebecca from Papeterie de Choix, and I'm here with my latest journal. This is called Dahlia Dorothy, and the reason it's called that is because this card here, it's an advertising card, I'll show you in a second, is Dorothy Gish, who was the younger sister of Lillian Gish, and they were the actresses in the silent films back in the early 1900s, 1920s, in that time frame. So that's where the Dorothy comes from, and then the paper that I use to cover the actual book is Dahlia's. So that's that. Alright, so this is probably one of my very favorite journals that I have done so far in my 7-ish years of journal making. Well, it'd be more than that. 9 years. 9 years of journal making. So anyway, let's see what it looks like on the inside. Well, first let's see what it looks like on the outside. So on the outside I have a vintage handkerchief that I've sewn this piece of ribbon to just using a button. And then I have a couple of buttons here. I probably will end up repositioning these because when I tie it, I don't like how they look, so I need to bring them out closer to here. But for now, that's where they are. And then just, I did a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, but I come in and come out at the bottom instead of the middle like normal, and I did them on the outside. And so there's just these little beads hanging that kind of matches the this kind of dusty aqua color. So the first thing is, and this just unfolds as the tie, this is a card that can be written on the back just like it is, but this is an old advertising piece, and I bought it I think for $2 at an antique store. It's got some writing on it. I didn't want to erase it. Even though if I was keeping this for myself, I would erase it, but I'm going to let the recipient do what they want to with this because I wanted to keep the actual advertisement, but I didn't want to cover it, so it's original. But here you can see the Dorothy Gish, and then it has the copyright of, I guess, the person who made the artist's the drawing, because it's not a picture, it's a drawing. But she's looking down and got these lilies in her hand. So that's the front, and then because it is fragile, I didn't want to just put it on the page, so I made this little pockety thing just to hold it so it can still go on the front. It's kind of a tight fit, but it just slides in there, and then it's just a little card. So there's that. I had a couple of pieces, well, I had this one piece left over that I made a little extra something for once I found it after I started clearing my workstation away. So I made this little thing I'm going to put in as we go along. And then I've already started my next journal, and so I was looking for things to go in it and found this. And so I thought, I really need to put that in that journal. It's got the lilies, even though they're a different color, and it's the front of a greeting card. And so I inked the back of it, and these were embossed, so got that image on there. And so it works good enough, so I'll find a place in here for that as well. So in the front we have make sure I'm in shot here because I've moved my camera slightly, so I don't know where I am now. So I made this little folio thing in a project from Julie at Camellia Crafts Designs a couple of years ago, and I've just had it and the others that I made sitting waiting for the right journal. So I put this in here. So I will find the video that this goes with and link it in the description. But it has a pocket here on the front, and then it opens up and it has a little pocket here, and then it has a pocket here. This has a tag in it from some papers that I used to accent throughout this journal, and then a pocket here, a pocket here, and then I glued it in to make and put a pocket behind. This is a piece of vintage ephemera. It's just out of a little notebook, I suppose, and somebody wrote, "Yes, Ethel Kennedy." Anyone can erase that if they want to, but I left it just like it is. So it just kind of goes in here like this, but I didn't back it or anything because it's original piece of paper. This is a little coin envelope I made, and so it goes in here. And then I put an extra pocket on the front once I put it in here, and then I have these little tiny envelopes that I made, and it's got a couple of little things in here to write on. So that goes here like so. So I'll do that back up in a minute. So it's got 5 signatures, but 2 of them are just special ephemera. So I've done something completely different in this journal that I will be doing again in future journals. But it has 3 signatures with papers, and then it has 2 signatures that are just a special project I'll show you. So this is a decoupage napkin onto freezer paper that I sewed, or not sewed, but glued a decoupage napkin onto fabric on the front and back to make a pocket. And then it's got a piece of a full huge sheet of music paper folded up, and I have 4 of those music papers throughout the journal. I did some stencil work on my jelly plate on these pages, and I left the pages. This was a cream paper. I left them as is, other than the paint. And so there's just, they're all roses, if I'm not mistaken, or various damask type designs of the stencils, and then a few lines. So there's just some pockets that I made, like I said, from this paper that was accented. It's a decoupage paper, and I just backed it with some coffee stained heavier, it's like copy paper, but it's like heavier. And then just more pockets and more pages. So I'll just turn these. These are, of course, writing pages. This was from a greeting card. I just cut it out, cut it into a little shape to make a little writing space, and there is a little pocket here. But I don't think, that's too big to go in it. So I haven't put anything in that. And then this was just a little simple thing that I made with some scrap paper. It's just a couple of little pockets, and then a little matchbook booklet, a matchbook booklet. And there's 2 of those in here. And so this is a genuine piece of ephemera. It's another advertising card. It's Reading, Pennsylvania, March 1890. So this is authentic and original, and I thought it matched the colors really well. Another pocket and a tag, a journaling spot, or card, and an upper tuck spot, and then a lower one here, and then here's the other side with the music paper. Alright, now we're to the second signature that is a complete project within itself. So in this is something I made in a project a while back. It's an image from my magazine, but it's a photograph. I'll link that video. It's got some lace on the back, and then the middle or underneath is a belly band. So I have a pocket here with an envelope. This is also another authentic, or I think it is. Yeah, it is authentic. I bought this as an antique store, but I did back it because it was, I backed it before I realized that I probably shouldn't have. But anyway, that's what that is in there. And that just goes there. And then you open it up and have a pocket here. And inside here I just have some pieces of scrap for writing on. And then, there's that one. And then I made this little clipped thing with this picture of these two girls showing off their fur coats. So that goes right in there, like that. And then on this side, this is just a piece of lace to tie this envelope together. I made this envelope from a piece of tracing paper. This has another authentic piece of advertising card in it. So this goes right in here like so, and I probably will put a piece of tape on that because it's going to break. So I have some vintage tape that I can use to put on that. See if I can get it in without any to-dos. And this little folio is sewn in, but the contents inside is not sewn in. So that just goes like that, that like that. And then on the back I have a little pocket with these little miniatures of flower magazine, like seed catalogs. And then we start the next signature. This is a piece of vellum. I'm sure it's fake vellum, but it was the right color. So a tag I made using some vintage themed, they're not vintage, but you know, pictures. And this is a little, I don't remember, this is a cardstock from Hobby Lobby, and this is just a piece of scrap I had left over, and I just, this is sticky back craft paper. And then here, this just folds down to right, it has a pocket in the back, and so that just goes like that. This is a piece of wrapping paper, and I saw this, and it's like, this has to go in this book. So I just left it folded. It came in one of those giant books that you pull it out, and it's like 12 by 16 or something. So I took one section of it, left it folded, glued the edges together, and then folded over these edges to make the pockets like this. And here's some more of that music paper in the middle here. So I just really like that. And so another tag with a tuck spot, and then another, just a little tiny pocket there, a little belly band with a card, and then a pocket with a piece of that. I love this decoupage paper. I ordered it from Amazon, and it's 8.5 by 8.5, and it has 103 sheets, I think, per book for like $12. And I don't usually order stuff like this, but I wanted something special for this book, so I ordered it for this book. So there's that one. Now we're to the second special ephemera. Now this band is the only thing sewn in. The rest of this inside here is removable. So this just hooks in here, and then you tie it into that. So this is also from Juliet Camellia Crafts Designs. I don't remember what she called it, but basically it's like an envelope pocket. and it opens up like this, and I put this replica of an old music sheet in the middle to have it. But on this side I have I made this is from a flower book, and this is the picture that was in it, just like this. So I folded it up, and it's got these sayings on the back of each one. So I put that behind, and then in this little tag that I made, and it wraps around the back, a piece of kind of this aqua colored music paper, like a replica, and just did a little thing like that on this side. Let's see if I can get it back in here, like so, and then turn it over, and I've got the same sort of thing here. This is another page from this flower book, just as a writing paper. Another tag with another, this is a replica of I think a music magazine or sheet music, and then it's got this on it. So that goes in there. And I made this envelope out of cardstock, so it's a little thick and robust. And so this then just goes right in there. So now we're at the last signature, and so this is a greeting card. There is a tuck spot right here. If I do it that way, maybe. I'll show you why in a second. On the back side of this, there is, I put a card to cover the writing. I don't know if I like that or not, but I'm going to leave it for now. It might work. So there's that, and then some more writing pages. Here's another piece of authentic ephemera. It had a little hole here, so I just put a piece of like vintage tape over it, or not actual vintage tape, but the kind that you make with ink. So that goes in there. And this was a piece of a greeting card that I just ripped the edge off of, so I wouldn't have the writing, and just made a little tiny tuck spot there. Another pocket, and then a somewhat little plain tag. And in here, I don't know if this will fit. Nope, it's a little too wide. This is a bag that I made with dry wax deli paper, and used my gel plate to put a pattern on it. But I've made it into a pocket, so you have a pocket behind it, and then you have the actual bag itself to put something in there. And then just another little tuck. And this was in that paper pad I just told you about, and it had this one central thing, so I used my craft knife. I probably should have used my Brother Scan and Cut, but anyway, there it is. And another pocket. And then a couple of stamp ephemera pieces that I did a while back, and a couple of little tags attached to that paper there. And then one like in the front, first signature, just another little matchbook booklet there. This was also from Camellia Crafts Designs. I watch her a lot. Her and Carrie Griffiths, that's who I watch more than anyone else, and I can watch Julie over and over. I've watched her so much that some of the videos I know what she's going to say next. I never get tired of listening to her. So here's just another couple little journaling cards with another stamp piece of ephemera there. And then this is a tag with a pocket. I don't have anything in it, and this, of course, will not fit. So this might end up having to be something loose between pages, or it might go back over here. Nope. It'll go in here somewhere, though. I just don't know where yet. And then I made a little pocket here. This is a belly band across the pocket, and then just a little envelope, and then a giant card here, and then the back. So here's what I was telling you, to take care of the writing on the back of that card with the bird on it. I just made this whole big pocket here. So in the back is a giant tag, and then an envelope I made in a project. This is just copy paper that's been very lightly, I think, tea stained, not coffee stained, I believe. And for now, this can just go right here until I go through and figure out exactly where I want to put it. So that is Dahlia Dorothy. And I like to tie, oops, well, there's no point in tying it yet because I got to go through and do all that back up. But anyway, this is the journal. It will be listed on my PayHip site when this goes live. So thank you all very much for watching. I have another journal that I'm already started that I'm just as in love with as I was with this one. It's going to be a little bit smaller though. But thank you all for watching, and I will be back soon with another video.